welcome to the preview segment of the Three Quarters podcast, your official podcast for the 2018 Rugby Africa Gold Cup. Also remember to jump onto the hashtag Road to Japan to support your team as they look to qualify for the Rugby World Cup in 2019 in Japan. I'm Demima Duffield.
And I'm Naro Kamuya.
So round one is done. Got those matches done and dusted.
Yeah.
And then now we have next matches. So next one is going to be Namibia versus Tunisia.
Yeah.
And then Morocco are going to host Kenya. With the first game,
yes,
or rather, second weekend, first game.
Yes.
I feel Namibia are definitely going to hit the ground running. I mean, they've already started.
Yeah.
Convincing win over Uganda, winning 55-6. Now take on Tunisia, who, I mean, even last year were not really at the top of the table.
Yeah.
I think they're looking to continue what they did with Uganda and just, come on strong.
Yeah. Namibia, as you said, have the benefit of having a game under the belt. So they won't be too rusty when they come up against Tunisia, set one. Number two, of course, they're going to be hosting Tunisia at the Haile Stadium, and we all know how it's difficult to beat Namibia in Windhoek.
Yep.
So it's not going to be an easy one for Tunisia. Tunisia will have. I think what they'll try to do is exploit the might of their forwards. Just like Morocco, the Northern Africans, they're very big in size, and they are. They have a heavy set of forwards. I am expecting that Tunisia will have recalled a couple of their guys who play in the French leagues, because last year that was their biggest problem. They didn't have a couple of the professionals back. I think they're going to be back this time. So they will try to exert that on the Namibians and try to choke the Namibians and hopefully get a result in Windhoek. But it's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy for Tunisia. Especially looking at the way Namibia played against Uganda. If their backs get involved, if Cliven Lobsher, if JC Greeling, if Johan Deisel and Chrisander Botha get as involved as they did against Uganda, it's not going to be easy for Tunisia. I can assure you that. There's also the issue about Tunisia's preparation, it having been hampered by, of course, the holy month of Ramadan. You ask yourself whether they'll have been able to do a couple of tweaking just before taking on Namibia. But I think the thing that's going to be favoring Namibia a lot is number one, they got into camp pretty early, and number two, they have a game under their belt. So I don't expect that they're going to be rusty, and therefore it's going to be a tough one for Tunisia, in my opinion.
I mean, obviously Tunisia are going to look to test their systems for the first time in this tournament. I think, you saying that they have a heavier sort of set of players, especially with the forwards. They might not be maybe as easy to bully around. I remember, a couple of rolling mauls for Namibia, resulting in tries against Uganda. We'll see how that goes against Tunisia. It might be a little harder, might not.
It might be a little harder, but I would like to see, because we haven't watched Tunisia play this year. I would like to see the conditioning levels and the fitness levels, because I think that's going to be another big thing for Tunisia on the day. So moving on to our second game, that'll be Morocco hosting Kenya. Now both teams have played a game, although Kenya played in the Elgin Cup, the first leg of the Elgin Cup, but they both at least played an international game. So they're both they've tested their systems. They know what works. They know what might need tweaking. I would say in terms of for Kenya, they need to make sure they don't concede a lot of penalties, because Morocco, I feel, will definitely take advantage of that. I mean, I think it'll be an interesting game. Morocco have home ground advantage. They've got running backs. They've got people, out there. So in terms of defense, Kenya will need to make sure that they're on their toes, but also maybe use their forwards. We've seen Kenya have more. I mean, the forwards are more, they're a little stronger, they're more conditioned, they're running a little more, so maybe use that to their advantage in this game. I mean, the first thing I think is going to be an issue is going to be the climate. Adjusting to the Mediterranean climate is going to be difficult for Kenya, and they need to get there. If they don't get there in time, it's going to be a hard one when they come up against Morocco. Now, having seen the previous game against Zim, everyone expected that Morocco were going to keep it tight with the forwards, but we've seen that they have the ability now to play some expansive game, and that's going to be a difficult one for Kenya. How do you contain a team now that can play expansive rugby? So Kenya will need to be on their toes when they're coming up against Morocco. I think what's going to happen is that In terms of athletic capability and physicality, maybe Namibia can match up Kenya in the physicality, but from an athletic standpoint, I think the Kenyans are by far the best on the continent in terms of how they run the game and how they play the game expansive. So what I think Morocco will try to do is choke the ball at the breakdown, therefore slowing down the ball for Kenya. Because if Kenya get the ball moving and if they're able to quickly recycle the ball, then it's going to be a problem for Morocco. They have an explosive set of backs. So yeah, I think that's what's going to be the difficult one for Morocco on the day. There's some issues in Kenya with regard to preparation that have hampered their preparation, and though you say that yes, they have played in the Elgon Cup against Uganda, we must also acknowledge that it wasn't really the strong Ugandan team that they've faced up against previously. But what you can say is that they've been able to test out their systems. So it should be an interesting game. It's definitely going to be an interesting game in Rabat, Morocco versus Kenya. So I think that one we'll just have to wait and see what happens on the day.
I'm also thinking in terms of conditioning. I think the team that is better conditioned on the day will definitely have a better run. If both teams decide to run the ball, then it'll depend on who can run for longer.
Yes, it depends exactly, and that's where the conditioning comes into play. We know for a fact that with a new coaching team in Kenya, that's with New Zealanders Ian Snook and Murray Ralston, what they've focused on a lot ever since they were appointed was the conditioning of the Kenya Simbas. So if and we have had the privilege to see a bit of their game during the Elgon Cup. So if their preparation has not been hampered as we've been hearing, then you can expect that they're going to be quite a formidable challenge for Morocco. But at the same time, I cannot write Morocco off, especially after seeing what they did against Zimbabwe.
Because they suck in players very well, and then they take the ball out wide really quick. So if you get sucked in, then that's going to be a problem for you on defense.
It's going to be a problem for you on defense. And just to reiterate my point earlier on, no one really expects Morocco to play an expansive brand, and we saw them do that against Zimbabwe. So Kenya can expect that these guys are going to be running at them, and if they don't have the defensive systems
in check,
Morocco are going to have a field day. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one in Rabat. That's definitely the clash of the weekend, and I don't know how you think it's going to pan out.
Honestly, I don't know. This one we'll just have to wait and see. I'm hoping everyone else will be watching.
That's true.
Remember, you can watch this on Kwese. That is on YouTube and on Facebook. We'll definitely be following the game.
That's true.
Also, to get more stuff on the game and everything Rugby Africa, Gold Cup. Remember, you can follow us on Instagram, like our page on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Delima Duffield.
And I'm Nora Kamuya.
See you next week for the review show after the games.